Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Moose and welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be starting our NHL 23 Be a Pro series. And as you guys can see from the thumbnail for this video, this is going to be a little bit different than your average Be a Pro series. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it.
Oh jeez, oh my, there I go again. You don't score enough, I mean no offense.
Alexander Ovechkin, Sergei Fedorov, Pavel Datsyuk, Alexander Mogilny, Pavel Bure, Evgeny Malkin. These are some of the greatest Russian superstars the NHL has ever seen. But now, the next great Russian superstar is here. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Mooselan Brucetenko. 50% Russian, 30% vodka, and 20% psychopath. This absolute man rocket is ready to take over the NHL and North America. Standing at a whopping 6'3" and 215 pounds, straight out of Moscow, Brucetenko has been absolutely ripping it up in the KHL, and now it is finally time to bring this Russian superstar to the show. With a rare combination of size, speed, and skill, NHL scouts have been calling Brucetenko the Russian Eric Lindros. However, Brucetenko hails from an extremely wealthy and powerful Russian family, which has been involved in its fair share of controversies in the past. On top of this, Brucetenko has also led what one could call an eccentric lifestyle. As a result, he has quickly become one of the most polarizing prospects in NHL draft history. NHL scouts and general managers have obviously had some reservations about Brucetenko, his family background, his leadership abilities, as well as his off-ice activities. So they have been waiting for an opportunity to get a closer look at the polarizing Russian prospect before the upcoming NHL draft. Well, that opportunity has finally arrived, as the KHL and the European Champions Hockey League have officially come to an agreement that will see Mooselan Brucetenko loaned out to the CHL for the upcoming Champions Hockey League playoffs. After some slick Russian mafia style negotiating, a deal was finally reached between the Zurich Lions and the Brucetenko camp. With the deal secured, Mooselan is now going to be spending at least the next couple of weeks in Zurich, but he ain't going to be simping for some cheap hotel or rental while he's here. That's not how Brucetenko rolls. So he dropped an easy $850,000 on a Zurich property. Child's play? So that's the Zurich crib, but things move fast here in the life of Mooselan Brucetenko, as it's already time for him to head down to the arena to meet his new team and head to his first practice with the new squad. It's time to let the Lions, the city of Zurich, and the entire hockey world know Daddy's home. After Brucetenko meets his new teammates and finishes up his first practice with the team, coach pulls him aside to discuss the importance of the upcoming playoffs. Mooselan, who fears no man, informs coach that while he's here to win, the Brucetenko show isn't going to be controlled by anyone, and that for him, it's all about going first overall, snapping necks, and cashing checks.
I've been earning and burning, snapping necks and cashing checks.
When coach responds that if the team wins, Mooselan will get exactly what he wants, Brucetenko sees an opportunity and proposes a deal with the coach. Give him top line playing time and he guarantees that the team will win the entire thing. Shocked, but also intrigued by Brucetenko's fearlessness and confidence, coach agrees to the deal. Motivated by this under the table deal with the coach, Mooselan gets in the whip and makes his way over to the team's private gym and training facility to further prepare for his upcoming debut.
And we in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice.
Nah, it's not a game, not a game, not a game.
Not a game.
It's not a game, not a game, not a game.
Not a game.
It's not a game, not a game, not a game.
Not a game.
It's not a game, not a game.
We talking about practice.
Now home from the gym, Brucetenko winds down by participating in some relaxation techniques, then takes a seat to enjoy the movie Jack Howitzer as Jack Howitzer in Jack Howitzer. I'd give it a 7 out of 10, but honestly, could have used a bit more Jack Howitzer.
I gotta have more cowbell.
After that, Mooselan decides to call it a night, as tomorrow is the first game of the Euro playoffs and the big debut for Mooselan on the Zurich Lions. Waking up the next morning, Mooselan gets prepared for his big day. Once ready, he makes his way upstairs, takes a swig of some of that special Russian green juice, and heads out the door for game day. Ripping through Zurich with an ego larger than your girl's body count and ready to absolutely dominate, Brucetenko arrives at the arena, parking in his personally designated parking spot, and makes his way into the arena for his big debut. All the talk is over. It's Brucetenko season. In his first shift of the game, Brucetenko doesn't waste any time as he sets up his teammate for the great look. After making a defender look absolutely silly, which leads directly to a scoring chance, Brucetenko ends his first shift by aggressively chasing the puck carrier and helping out on defense by getting back and attempting to block the shot out front. Riding high off the momentum created by Brucetenko's electric first shift, the Lions strike first, as Andrighetto gets the goal on the power play, putting the Lions up 1-0. On his second shift, Mooselan joins the rush and finds himself with a chance out front, unleashing an absolute rocket that nearly finds the back of the net. After the rest of the shift didn't result in much, Mooselan shows that he can be a team player as he goes for a line change with his line mates, fully expecting to get out there for at least one more shift. But apparently, coach has other plans and decides to sit Mooselan for the rest of the period. A bold choice from coach.
A bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Filled with anger and rage from sitting the rest of the first period, Brucetenko starts the second off by absolutely destroying his opponent behind the net. He then continues to display his offensive prowess with chance after chance after chance. On his next shift, Brucetenko drives towards the net and gets a great pass from a teammate, but somehow the goalie makes the save. Mooselan continues to show off his physical side by hitting his opponent from behind to end his shift and to end the second period. Before his first shift in the third period, coach recognizes that he needs his big Russian stallion to lock in here. So he challenges Brucetenko to be physical and to shut the other team down. Mooselan tells coach to sit back, relax, and enjoy the third period fireworks. Mooselan immediately starts laying the body here in the third period as he takes turns demolishing not one, but two defenders, which eventually helps spring the Lions onto the attack. Brucetenko eventually gets the puck on his stick where he finds his teammate out front, but he fires it completely wide. Rest easy, Zurich. The Brucetenko show has arrived. Just beaming with confidence now, Mooselan starts showing off the hands and skill that have NHL scouts wetting themselves. He then sets up his teammate for another unbelievable scoring chance before taking the puck back and getting a dangerous shot off himself. With straight B's across the board after that shift, things are looking good. But the punishment doesn't stop there as the Lions strike again to go up 3-0. Mooselan then continues his all-out assault on his opponents, dishing out a couple more punishing hits. Eventually, things boil over and Brucetenko finds someone foolish enough to test his hands. The ref immediately recognizes that he needs to protect everyone by getting this absolute demon off the ice. With a 3-0 lead in the bag, however, the boys hold on for the easy dub, and Mooselan with his performance has more than established himself as the superstar of this team. Even coach had to pull him aside and let him know how impressed he was. Of course, after the game, the media just can't get enough of their new Russian megastar. Zurich Lions reporter Alexa Lagasse, who I think has seen some better days, praises Brucetenko's performance and asks him if Lions fans are looking at the next great NHL superstar. Mooselan lets her know that she and the city of Zurich are indeed in the presence of greatness. Now with the huge dub, it's time for Mooselan to go and Selly with a big night out on the town. He immediately heads out from the arena and starts to make his way to his home away from home, the casino. After performing some magic tricks by making several shots of vodka disappear and participating in a number of different casino games, Mooselan finds himself up $10,000. There's only one reasonable response to this, and that's to go immediately bet all of it on the horse races. So Mooselan makes his way to the inside track and joins in on the fun. He bets the max amount of $10,000 on the horse that he relates to the most, Money to Burn. At 30-1 odds, if Mooselan's horse wins the race, he'll get a payout of a cool $310,000. As Mooselan awaits the big race, he's got some time to kill, so he goes back to the bar, but this time he's feeling frisky, so he orders a $350 whiskey drink that sends this man into the shadow realm. Feeling real nice now, Brucetenko sits down and watches the race.
Just off the lead and second, it's the 4.
Come on, boy. Come on.
Bouncy blessed, first place. Some are just blessed with good genes.
A truly poor performance by Money to Burn, but nothing a few more shots of vodka can't fix. Of course, the night truly begins when Brucetenko makes his way up to the rooftop VIP area, where he meets up with some good-looking fans of his hanging out in the hot tub. These ladies are just looking for a good time, so Brucetenko, being the upstanding gentleman that he is, isn't gonna deny these ladies of that. So he hops in the tub and joins them in their night out. Unfortunately, the rest of the night could not be shown on camera.
Vagina.
After sending those very nice ladies home the next morning, it's getting close to time for his next game.
So Mooselan gets into his game day clothes and makes his way over to the arena, completely ignoring all rules of the road.
Now at the arena and ready for game 2, coach goes over the lines with the team. He stays true to the deal, putting Brucetenko on the first line as well as on the power play after his solid game 1 performance. It's time for Brucetenko to show coach that this is the right move.
After Brucetenko's goal, the Lions are energized and are feeling it as they bank another one for the good guys. 2-0 Lions early. Continuing his display of dominance, Brucetenko continues to carry the puck and keep possession, looking like a man amongst boys, which eventually leads to a penalty. In all fairness, cheating is probably the only way to stop this man. Coach makes an absolutely boneheaded decision and inexplicably leaves Brucetenko off the power play, which leads to the end of the period. Once again enraged, Brucetenko begins the next period by absolutely obliterating an opposing player along the boards, resulting in severe injury for the player as he laid on the ice for several moments. This Kirill Kabanov should consider himself lucky, as he was eventually able to make it down the tunnel. There are not many who walk away from a Brucetenko rage attack. Still not satisfied, Mooselan continues to dole out the punishment by delivering 2 more bone-crushing hits before making his way to the bench. On his next shift, Mooselan gets back on the offensive as he gets a great look in front of the net trying to power it through for the goal. After that chance, he shows off his hands and elite passing by setting up his teammate for a glorious chance out front. After setting up yet another teammate where they fail to bury it, Brucetenko heads off for the change, leading to the end of the second period. Starting the third period, Mooselan continues to create offense and get great chances, displaying NHL level skill and speed, all the while continuing to be physical, showing absolutely no concern for his opponent's well-being. Mooselan starts to get cocky though by showing off with some between the legs antics, so it was only a matter of time before the other team gave in and dropped the gloves. Brucetenko literally powers up through a series of seizures and then just absolutely blitzes his opponent with those patented Brucetenko right hands. Seeing an opportunity for the finish, Brucetenko lands a clean uppercut to finish the fight in style. For the second time in a row, however, the ref decides to eject Brucetenko from the game. The other team does end up scoring a goal to make it a 2-1 game, but the Lions do their job and hang on for the big dub. Just another incredible game for your boy, filling that stat sheet up with 1 goal, 4 shots, 5 hits, and over 20 minutes of ice time with an overall grade of B. Now after this game, things get a little crazy. As you can see, the Zurich Lions have played 2 games so far, with Mooselan sitting at 1 goal and 1 assist. However, following a post-game interview led by Alexa Lagasse, which felt more like a personal attack against Mooselan than it did an interview, something unexpected happens. The next thing Mooselan knows, somehow a few days have passed, and the Lions have apparently played another 2 games, with Brucetenko having played in both. During this time, the Lions apparently defeated a team named the Oilers and are now in the semifinals. But here's the thing, Mooselan has absolutely no memory of playing in these games and has no idea how he got here since that interview after game 2. Now, one may be asking, how could this happen? How could Brucetenko have no memory of the last few days? Well, there is an explanation. Right after that interview with Alexa following the Game 2 victory, Mooselan was feeling real good about his performance, so he decided to celebrate by making his way down to the hottest club in all of Zurich for some good times. After making a wrong turn into the women's bathroom, sorry ladies, Mooselan makes his way to the dance floor to show Zurich that not only does he dominate on the ice, but he also dominates on the dance floor. After stealing everyone's girl with his impeccable dance moves and his massive wallet, Mooselan makes his way to the bar, and this is where things start to go downhill, folks, as Mooselan proceeds to drink around $100 worth of vodka shots and another $700 worth of whiskey shots. This is where memory starts to slip for Brucetenko. As you can see, this man enters a whole other stratosphere at this point, but that doesn't stop him as he continues to power through those shots. This is what peak performance looks like, ladies and gentlemen. After stumbling his way back to the dance floor and continuing to throw down some devastating dance moves, the rest of the night is pretty much a blur for Brucetenko. At some point, Mooselan remembers making his way back home, where this is the last thing he remembers. Whether it was from the excessive drinking and partying, a concussion / CTE from smashing his head off the kitchen table, or some combination of both, Mooselan remembers absolutely nothing between that moment and now. As far as Mooselan can tell, he powered through, and no one even noticed. Again, this is the mindset and determination of a superstar, folks. No worse for wear, lucid and ready for the semifinals, Mooselan gets prepared to do what he does: win hockey games and dominate. Mooselan starts off strong, getting back to work by setting up his teammates out front, who somehow don't bury the puck. This comes back to bite the Lions later in the shift, as the other team comes down and buries it to make it 1-0 early. Unaffected by this, Brucetenko creates a scoring chance by using that huge Russian body to spin around the defender and try a short side move that he almost buries. Later in the period, he gets physical by laying a massive body check to rally the troops. This works to perfection, as the Lions score one before the end of the first period, tying this thing up 1-1. After chugging 5 Red Bulls during the first intermission, Mooselan comes out flying to start the second, ripping a dangerous shot on net. Those Red Bulls may have amped him up a little too much though, as he delivers a dangerous hit from behind that results in a penalty. The boys kill it off, but Mooselan isn't done there, as he immediately takes another penalty. The boys come up clutch again and kill it off. Coach tries to make a point by sitting Brucetenko after the back-to-back penalties, but the other team scores, putting the Lions down 2-1. But on his very next shift, Mooselan responds.
This kid's going to be a star here. The expectation coming into the Champions League was he's going to be able to make an immediate impact.
Fired up after scoring, Mooselan continues to dominate the play, controlling the rest of the second period by getting all kinds of scoring chances on net. However, the other team does escape the second period without getting scored on again, so we are going to have quite a finish here in the semifinals, as it is 2-2 going into the third period. With everything on the line here in the final 20 minutes, Mooselan goes all out, getting down for block shots, creating high danger scoring chances, and hitting literally anything that moves in front of him. Eventually, the Lions are able to draw a penalty, setting up a critical third period power play. Mooselan shows off his power play presence by picking up the loose puck off the draw and working the puck around to his teammates, showing great vision, control, and patience before driving the net for a great scoring chance. Continuing off the momentum that Brucetenko created, the other power play unit goes out there and gets it done, as Noah Meyer gets the massive power play goal to put the Lions up 3-2. Now in the final minute of the third period, and with the goalie leaving the net, Brucetenko sees an opportunity to bury, but the goalie somehow makes it back to deny Brucetenko of the goal. Coach decides to risk it all, as he takes his best player off the ice for the last 30 seconds. But the boys hold on for the huge dub, sending the team to the CHL Finals.
Two sets of Warriors lining up. These guys pushed each other. Yeah, exhausted, tired. At the end of any long frame series, you are gassed. But one team gets to enjoy this line a lot more than the other.
After getting first star of the game with a goal, 8 shots, 11 hits, and a whopping 32 minutes of ice time, Mooselan is feeling amazing about how things have been going so far. But of course, Zurich Lions reporter Alexa Lagasse has a different opinion on that, as she suggests that Brucetenko hasn't been at his best.
Bitch.
Brucetenko finishes the interview, but no doubt that was a buzzkill. The next day, Mooselan's agent Dmitry Kashelov decides to make a visit, right in the middle of a team practice.
Why?
Somehow, according to Dmitry, Mooselan isn't even ranked inside the first round, as he currently sits at 46th. Between this ranking and Alexa's remarks, NHL scouts must have heard about Mooselan's off-ice activities and blackout. Otherwise, things just aren't making any sense here. Mooselan desperately needs to get his mind off of things to calm down before he does something drastic. So he makes his way over to the gym once again, and this time, we're doing straight arms, baby. Gotta put the Lions on my back, though. I gotta score them goals, though. Alexa Lagasse doesn't know shit. Waking up the next morning, Mooselan gets ready. He gets that fresh finals fit on and makes his way out the door for the big game. The moment has finally arrived. Can the Russian billionaire playboy deliver when the lights are brightest and silence those who question his lifestyle and off-ice activities? Can Mooselan show that he's worthy of being a top pick in the upcoming NHL draft? We are about to find out. Taking on a team called the Berlin Bears in the CHL finals, Brucetenko sets the tone right away by laying a massive hit right off of the opening faceoff, which leads directly to this.
Gets the full use of his stick on the poke check. Takes it to the net. Scores! That's got to be an unbelievable, satisfying goal for him. I mean, he stumbles. He looks like he's going to fall on his tail, but he ends up keeping himself together to beat the goalie.
Eat your heart out, Alexa Lagasse. On his next shift, Mooselan gets out there on the power play, but he doesn't have to do much, as the boys immediately bury it for an easy 2-0 lead. However, the Bears respond to this early start by getting extremely physical, even knocking down Mooselan. Honestly, respect. That is no easy feat for a mere mortal. Brucetenko obviously takes exception to this, as he spends part of the shift looking to drop the gloves with anyone. But unfortunately, he's unable to find any takers for a fight. Brucetenko starts the second period off the exact same way as he did the first, crushing his opponent with a brain-rattling hit that leaves him laying on the ice. Next, he strips the puck off the man in the corner and drives the net, but he isn't able to get the finish. Later in the same shift, Mooselan absolutely destroys the defender as he receives the pass, but the boys get a little bit too excited about the hit and lose focus on the play, resulting in a goal for the Bears. Coach, recognizing that it's a 1-goal game now, immediately calls on his big Russian star to get him and the boys back on track after that goal. Wasting no time, Brucetenko takes the puck into the offensive zone, shielding the puck and looking for an open man as he sends it behind the net. Brucetenko, using his extreme hockey IQ, gets to the front of the net, creating a perfect screen. Absolutely no chance for the goalie on that one. Following that goal, one of Mooselan's teammates absolutely destroys his man as he enters the zone, resulting in the player being injured and the play needing to be stopped. You absolutely love to see the team adopting that Brucetenko play style and mentality. Unfortunately, the Bears score again and make it 3-2. Brucetenko does get one more shift before the end of the period, but nothing comes out of it, as the Zurich Lions and the Berlin Bears head to the third period of the CHL finals in a 1-goal game. It all comes down to this. Feeling the spotlight on him more than ever, and ice vodka coursing through his veins, Brucetenko comes out for the third period with everything he's got, absolutely flying down the left side of the ice, before setting up his teammate for the glorious chance at the start of the period. Off the ensuing face-off, Brucetenko gets to work.
3-2. Zurich's got it, and they're on the attack. Scores his second of the game.
Just what the doctor ordered, and exactly what scouts wanted to see. Things get frantic here though, guys, as the Bears score the next goal while Mooselan is off the ice to make it 4-3. Only for the Lions to immediately strike back right as Mooselan was about to get on the ice, putting the boys back up by 2 at 5-3. Following a solid defensive shift by Mooselan that keeps the score at 5-3, he goes off for a change. While he gets ready to get back on the ice, the boys yet again score immediately as his shift was about to begin, putting the Lions firmly in the lead 6-3. Brucetenko starts to add insult to injury to the Berlin Bears by delivering a couple of vicious hits that knock both players to the ice. the Lions continue to keep their foot on the gas as they score once again, making it 7-3 and all but putting this one away. Zurich Lions Nation rejoice! Brucetenko and the Zurich Lions are your EuroLeague World Champions. After getting first star of the game with his elite 2-goal performance, and now a CHL champion, the Zurich media couldn't wait to get one last chance to interview Mooselan before he heads to North America for the NHL draft. And of course, it's none other than our good friend Alexa Lagacé leading the media scrum. At first, she congratulates Mooselan on the championship, and things get off on the right foot. But then Alexa does what Alexa does, as she questions Brucetenko's performance by claiming that there are analysts out there with mixed opinions on how he played during the final. Brucetenko, not holding back, bluntly informs Alexa that she and these so-called analysts were simply not paying attention. But enough of this. Mooselan's a champion now, and his only focus is the NHL draft. After a wild night of celebrating the championship with his teammates and many Lions fans, Mooselan awakes the next morning in his Zurich home for what will probably be the last time. It's been a fun and successful time here in Zurich for Brucetenko, but all good things must come to an end eventually. The 2022 NHL draft is just a few days away, and it's being held in Montreal, Quebec. So it's time for Brucetenko to leave his Zurich property behind and make his way to the airport. You know Mooselan didn't settle for flying normally with everyone else like a peasant, so he purchased his own private airplane hangar in a private section of the airport, complete with his own personal plane, ready to take him directly to Montreal and the NHL draft. And oh yeah, Mooselan is flying the plane himself because that's just what this man does. As Mooselan takes off and heads to North America, he takes one final look back at the beautiful city of Zurich, and that's when he gets a call from his agent.